Many months ago, I made a video detailing the in-universe explanation for Obi-Wan's seemingly rapid aging from the events of Revenge of the Sith to A New Hope, and why he appeared to be weak in the film. A very brief explanation being natural age, along with the harsh suns of Tatooine and deteriorated state of the light side of the Force, kept Obi-Wan still a notable warrior, but one who had seen more glorious days. Of course, the out-of-universe explanation for the somewhat slower-paced lightsaber duel in A New Hope was because the filmmakers responsible were breaking new bounds and doing things never put to film before. Since I made that video on Obi-Wan, many have suggested I make one for Vader as well, as the reasoning behind his slower-paced fighting is somewhat more vague and very interesting as well. For starters, I want to say that I believe Vader at the time has not deteriorated to the point Obi-Wan had, and towards the end of the duel begins to outmatch his former master. I wouldn't even call Vader in this situation weak in the slightest. A better term to use would be cautious. Obi-Wan appearing on the Death Star is a moment Darth Vader has waited for nearly 2 decades. Ever since Obi-Wan crippled him and left him to die on the volcanic shores of Mustafar, the hate for his former master has grown deep inside of him. However, this was a much more aged Vader. The battle he waged against Obi-Wan on Mustafar shaped who he would be in a certain sense. Vader learned the hard way that you cannot skate by on natural talent and power alone, and realized that although he seemingly held all the advantages in their duel, Obi-Wan fought smarter and therefore won. When Vader confronts Obi-Wan on the Death Star, he is anxious to strike him down, but does not let that get the better of him like years prior. Instead of going right in and attempting to smash through the defenses of Obi-Wan, he tests his strength and speed with strikes meant to see what Obi-Wan is capable of, not kill him outright. Although Obi-Wan has aged, this is still the same man that separated Vader's limbs from his body many years ago, and the endless state of pain and torment that is daily life for Darth Vader is a constant reminder of what Obi-Wan is capable of. The majority of the duel involves Vader matching the pace Obi-Wan sets, not wanting to be lulled into a feeling too in command to the point where he is caught off guard. Near the end of the duel, Vader begins to push in advance, guiding the duel into a location of his choosing, and a location where the stormtroopers are there to aid him if need be. This entire duel showcases the things Vader learned from his past defeat, as instead of relentlessly pursuing his adversary to the point where he becomes blinded of things around him, he leads him to a location of his choosing, and Obi-Wan was simply too weak to mount an offensive capable of changing the duel. Even at the end, when the stormtroopers are with Vader and Obi-Wan is seemingly beaten, Vader maintains a defensive stance. The in-universe explanation is that at nearly any moment, Vader likely could have destroyed Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan had somewhat fallen out of practice, while on the other hand, Vader had spent the better half of 2 decades fighting against Jedi and dismantling them piece by piece. Vader at the time of A New Hope is possibly the most experienced and knowledgeable swordsman in the galaxy. This being said, he is, in reality, playing directly into the hand of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, at the point of encountering Vader, has no intention of leaving the Death Star, and his only objective is to provide Luke with enough time to escape. He allows Vader to push an offensive, but also, very uncharacteristically, lashes out at Vader with quick strikes, which throws Vader off, as it was never something he would expect from his former master. Vader, however, allows this to go on, as the conversation that surrounds the duel is nearly as important to him as the duel itself. In some twisted way, Vader wants Obi-Wan to be aware of how insanely outmatched he is, but at the same time has learned and remains largely restrained. Throughout the whole encounter, Obi-Wan remains aware of the state of mind Darth Vader is in and keeps his former apprentice's attention solely on him. And finally, to end it all, Obi-Wan does the thing Vader would least expect. The Master of Defense, Obi-Wan Kenobi, completely abandons all his defense and guard, placing his blade in front of his face and is finally struck down. Although Vader took full advantage of the opportunity to cut his master down, the combination of the sacrifice and lack of a body is enough to keep Vader fully fixated on the cloak of Obi-Wan. Even after Obi-Wan has vanished, Vader prods at the cloak, and this allows Luke, Han, and Leia ample time to escape, just as Obi-Wan planned. This lightsaber duel is actually one of my favorites. To fully appreciate it, you have to understand what is occurring in the minds of our characters. In a way, Obi-Wan was actually victorious in his second duel with Vader, as he was able to manipulate him into situations where Obi-Wan knew how he would react. Obi-Wan knew Vader had waited for years to fight and kill him, and he used his blind rage against him yet again, but this time in a very different way. So I hope this video helped explain a little more why the duel is slower paced than others, and provided you still with a satisfying in-universe explanation. I also hope now when you look back and watch the duel in A New Hope, it grants a little more respect and understanding. The final definitive answer to why Darth Vader appeared to be weak in his duel with Obi-Wan was because he was following the pace Obi-Wan set and was always on his toes in the presence of his old master. Thank you as always so much for watching, and tell me down below which is your favorite lightsaber duel in all of the movies and TV shows. Also, if you have any other lore questions or want further explanations, feel free to suggest them with a comment down below or tweet me at StupendousWave on Twitter, and I will try my best to answer the questions there or make a full video dedicated to it. Again, thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.